here because they know that I move very well here in the space. So the treat is that I will organize events for them, teach them some things, and they give me at the beginning a couple of months for free, and then we will see
Awesome.
how things move on. Yeah.
That's nice. It's nice of them. Okay, I think Griff is joining. You're sending me something. Okay, so that's something else. Okay, well, we can check. We can start with check-in. So I am a little bit distracted because I will be going through the notes, but that's what I'm always trying to do. My intention is to add some more issues actually to the board and to discuss some of them and to get us back into working rhythm after our 1.5 weeks of crazy Barcelona time and skipping the comms meeting twice. Yeah, so for people who would watch the last live stream afterwards, or if you don't know, guys, but I think you do. Yeah, you do. It's on github.com/giveth/communication. You do because you added one, and I give it to you for check-in because you're on my screen. Yeah, so Gus, if you could just say what's your intention and distraction?
Sure.
Hey, Griff.
Well, the distractions, I have had a couple from the side. I'm working right now with some people here in Madrid. They want me to organize a hackathon for September. I'm still with the co-op stuff, trying to get sorted all what's going on there, and let's see if that happens to move on. Um, uh, I start having, let's say, a feeling about different bootcamp schools here in Madrid, trying to understand more or less their communications strategies. My intention here, as I mentioned it last week, and also as open a issue in the GitHub communication post, is that they have contacts with some media blogs here in Madrid and also in the whole Pan America.
Yeah, well, sorry to interrupt you guys. Let's discuss then that specific one afterwards. Now we're just doing a quick check-in for what you want to do in the meeting. So
okay, yeah, well, there's my intention to discuss about that. So I will pass it to Danny.
Yeah, hi. My only distraction is realizing that I'm terribly behind on Reward DAO and just checking in with some people that I wanted to get their stuff done before we do our next scoring meeting. So wrapping up some things there. My intentions for the meeting are to get some clarity around what our next actions are from the communication standpoint and find out how I can contribute to that. And yeah, from a funding perspective, of course. And I'll pass it over to Michael.
So, yeah, hi everybody. Yeah, distractions. Was a little distracted this morning because I have to rent a kayak potentially, a sea kayak. So, and that's distracting me too.
Yeah, someone has phone going up.
Okay, and intentions are, yeah, just to kind of. I'm interested in, where we're going in terms of the follow-up from the retreat as it relates to communications and where I'm implicated in that. So that's what I'm really interested in. And I'll pass it to Griff.
Yeah, so good morning. I'm a little distracted by a bunch of bureaucratic things that I'm taking care of this morning for Decentral and just trying to get into Canada and random other stuff. So that's cool.
Hey, That's cool.
Yeah, I know. Right? So close. And thanks to Lorelai, really. But yeah, and then I'll probably be a little bit distracted by random other chats that come up because I only have so many hours of the day that I can talk to European people. But then no real intentions other than just piggybacking off of what other people have said, like taking all this stuff from a funding perspective. Love that phrase, Danny. And probably also love the idea of following up as much as possible of lessons from our gathering before. And I'll pass it to Lorelai.
Yeah, I'm just a little distracted by the same as Griff. It's like there's these few hours and a lot happens, and wow, by the time I wake up I feel like I've missed my work day. So let's see, intentions for this meeting. I just have a couple of things that I want to mention comms wise, and then putting them into communications issues right now.
Who do we need to pass it to? Chris?
Danny, you went as well? Yeah, everyone went.
I did.
Okay, cool. So just like always, just like go into some issues. I'll start with one that's not on there because it's not really one, and I'll paste it in the chat box here. It's just something I responded to earlier with my personal account, but it was I don't know that person, but she knows us. She knows Giveth and Decred, and she mentioned us like how we like in this golden age for collective actions. Most attempts to mobilize around public good fails, only a few succeed. And so she was wondering like how we do that in decentralized communities. So I just responded some things and I linked to Jeff's latest article into the comments tag. But if you guys have something like, yeah, that's how I think it works in a decentralized community, don't hesitate to answer. She has a lot of followers and a big audience, so it's always nice, I think.
Where was this, on Twitter?
Yeah, so I put it here in the chat. I saw her like mentioning Giveth, and then it passed by. I was like, I put it in my to-dos to still answer to that with like for my personal account, which I just did. You'll see in that thread. But now she will know about the comment stack, so I think that's always a good thing. Other topics that are not on there that I'm thinking of right now is just wanted to say that I'm reverting back to what I announced in the call before Barcelona, and that I try to actually for now keep my hours per day limited, not only for health reasons, but also because I really intend to see the regular reward as a maximum amount that I take. And as long as we don't have funding, I really want to like try to limit my hours and not come to meetings when I don't feel that I'm 100% useful. So just saying that for myself personally again, so that I don't feel too guilty if I skip something. If you really need me there, please shout out, and otherwise you know why I'm not there. But I'm actually gonna try to go a little bit in lower work mode because I want to work in my house and get my Airbnb ready so that I have some other income and I'm not fully dependent on Giveth, because that is a stress that is just distracting me from focusing on Giveth, if you get my logic. So just wanted to say that. Okay, so let's get to the issues then. So we have a number of ones in the new list. So let me see if starting from the top. So yeah, the first one that's on hold, second one as well. Donation page, yeah, that's one that Kai wanted to continue working on again. He's going to be back in about 10 days, I guess. That bit IRA, Danny, I don't know if there's anything about that or if we want to close that one.
I'm sorry, you went too fast for me. I was still looking at your other thing.
Sorry, yeah, so much on here.
Which one?
The interview questions for Griff. I know I want to get it like.
Oh, that's closed.
Is it closed?
I mean, unless I haven't seen the link yet. Andrea didn't give me a link to it being published yet, so I guess we could leave it open until we have a link to post in there of the actual interview.
Okay, well then I'll move it to backlog for now until in case anything happens. Data Dash and Project Genesis, I'm also moving that to backlog. That was the guy Nicholas Martin, but I've reached out to him on Twitter in direct messages. He's not responding anymore, although he reached out to us first. So we'll see if he comes back one day. That interview, that was Kai. Radical Exchange, that happened, and that was fantastic. So I guess we can close that one. Or no, maybe Danny, because you saw the two people in Barcelona. Maybe you can give a quick update on that one.
Yeah, we're going to take our time. It's going to be a couple of months before the next Radical Exchange event because while with Griff's amazing connections and my ability to throw a party, we were able to do that within a week, but I don't recommend that anybody else try to do that. So the organizer is Tomi. She's away for the next 2 months, and we're going to plan. I'm going to help her and give her some tools to host the next one at Akasha. So we met at Akasha. We looked at the materials and the infrastructure that they have and what they need. She's got a partner who throws dinner parties. So they're looking at kind of a dinner party fishbowl structure. But that won't be until September. So there's a long lead time to get that planned and get some partners in place. Lorenzo he was pretty amazed by Kai and his ability to do that live streaming and recording. And while he has a lot of the tech that's needed for it, the bandwidth and the skill was a little intimidating to him. So I suggested that that's something we could probably help him find maybe a partner or a sponsor, somebody in the area that would want to come in and help live stream the next one for him.
Cool.
And really, that was my greatest recommendation, is for them to spend some time finding really good partners like we did, build on the relationships that we brought together. They're really interested in really making sure they have a diverse perspective at the table. So I've also sent her some links. There's some really good critiques of Radical Change and the coming around right now. I don't know if anybody saw the one that's by Thea. I'll have to find the link and share it. But John Light posted it on Twitter as an amazing critique of the concepts, and I think that's super valuable. So I passed that on to them to please, make sure that we're not just praising this and modeling it and running with it, but we're actually criticizing it and finding all of the full table perspective to bring to the next conversations. So that's about it.
Cool.
So I wonder if maybe that's like a scenario where Kai could be doing some consulting.
Hey, that's a great idea.
For sure. Yeah.
I'll hit him up. I'll suggest it to Lorenzo and Kai to take a look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can always yeah. Go ahead, Danny.
Well, I mean, the question would be getting that funded. I don't know how they would go about that. I mean, I'm consulting as well on putting it together. So that would be something she'd probably want to work on getting some sponsorships for to cover Kai's costs. That's all.
And just to cover Radical Exchange, the next edition in itself, right? Ask for some, I don't know, some income or some member thing, like some sort of thing. Like we now did our little experiment. But it would be cool if they do something that the participants can actually contribute to the cost.
Yeah, I mean, Protea, right? I mean, we could definitely utilize what we did to cover the costs for administering it instead of just buying beer and food.
Yeah.
Which was our only cost. So, I mean, only tangible hard cost. Obviously, we spent energy on it.
Yep, indeed. Okay, sorry, I'm like adding some issues and being distracted by that while listening. Then, okay, let's just go down the list. Kai's article on conviction. So I moved that one to the one we just talked about, Radical Exchange, because it's until September. For now, I moved it to backlog. Kai's article on conviction voting, that was great, and it's out. And actually, maybe to stay on that topic, there is a new article on conviction voting coming up. by Jeff. So that one I reviewed, and I saw Lansky already reviewed that one, and so did Adam. So I think Jeff is just integrating the last feedback, and I sent him a message today to see maybe we could publish it tomorrow. So that one is actually, so we can move that to in progress. This notebook is always on sale article. Yeah, Jeff probably needs to update us on that one. I know he was still working on it. Then non-central conference. This is your last chance if you're in Spain right now, and I think that's only Gus. If you feel like going there and talking about Giveth or the common stack or whatever, well, we would be very happy if you represent us, you or anyone else.
I'm totally going to the non-central conf.
You are? Great.
Yeah. I have a chat with Alex yesterday because I also wanted to participate. It was before the Giveth retreat, but he told me yesterday that there are no more spots for doing talks and whatever. So I'm not sure if you have already have a chat with him and he have committed something for Giveth or so.
Oh, well, you could always, I don't know, if you're going anyways, you can always tell him that, well, who was it that talked to me? Who were you talking to?
Alex.
Oh, yeah.
Shelton.
Yeah, well, it's Alex who invited us. So, and maybe you can tell him like, hey, well, nobody else from Giveth can come. I could represent Giveth. Maybe then there's a possibility. If you feel like it, of course, no obligation whatsoever.
I feel like it, but yeah, I think it will be worth also if you just send him a message. Look, contact Gustavo.
Cool.
Will be going there if to
That's
represent
great.
Giveth.
Yeah, I'll
And
do that.
if there is spot for me giving a talk or maybe a fishbowl or whatsoever to talk about the commons and that I'm okay. If not, be sure that I will be spreading the word during the conference because that's a non-conference, so people will be more concerned about having chats with beers than following one guy on straight talking.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll send him a message after this call. So thanks in any case for going to that. Then photography at the Barcelona retreat. So that one actually happened, and so Kai edited some of the pictures. So that is great. So now the question is, what do we do with that? What I would like to do is that we do a little bit like we have for the common stack and that we had before for the Aragon and the AC as well, is that for the people who are open to that we create, it can be a part of the website, it can be an about page, but that you have a place where you find our headshots and also the group picture. That's an easy one, but like the headshots that we made and like saying this is our LinkedIn, our Twitter, our GitHub, and so on, just to show this is good, because I think it might help us increase our credibility, showing that there's a real team behind this. And if there's a funding opportunity, it's very easy for people to see like, oh, that is Giveth. Those are the people. Any thoughts on that? A yay and a?
Sorry, ordering what?
Not ordering. Like creating a page on our website or on or a sub page or on the thing itself, where we put the headshots of.
I think that's a great idea. It's always nice to feel people's personality from faces. Like, I don't know. That's usually where I go when I go to an organization's website. I go to look at people's faces.
Yeah, and it's the reason I'm saying it is especially for like in the context of funding as well. It's like if you want to like invest in a project in one way or in whatever way, you want to know who's behind it, who are the people. So yeah,
I think this is really important.
Okay, cool. Then we have some support for that. Then I'll I'll ask when Kai is back. We'll discuss it. I know Kai because I talked to him about it in DMs after when he started editing the pictures, and he said that he doesn't like it because he doesn't want to like. He says it's about the whole, about the community, and not about the individuals. And I get the logic, but I think on the other side, it's like it will help our credibility and possibly get some funding. And if people don't want their face on there, of course they don't have to. Okay. They part or a sub-page for with headshots. Okay, I'm just going to take a quick note so that I don't forget. Okay. So that's in there now. Then yeah, goals update on Wiki. So I already put some of the stuff here after the Barcelona retreat that like I don't mind taking up on myself, but if other people start before I do, then you should, of course. But so the goals update on the Wiki and per circle, that's a thing that needs to be done and will help us to like then have that one place where it's up to date. So I don't mind like looking at the sheet and yeah, at the Google Doc and seeing where it's at, like which comments still need to be integrated, etc. I propose to do that with Lorelei because you also like helped a lot on that one, and to see like where is there still an issue or which one still needs to be tweaked, and then we can update it on the wiki, and then we can make sure that like when we do more role talking and roles preparation, that we always look back at like these changed goals or these updated goals.
Yeah, actually, and on that, I've been meaning to create a file in the photos, the like retreat photos folder, that's just for shots of whiteboards and big paper boards that we noted stuff on, sticky notes, whatever.
Yeah,
and I would love for everybody to like, if you got that stuff on your phone, please put it in the group resources, because I think there's still some more scraping to do of like detailed action steps and detailed changes to things.
For sure.
And I know that every time I was like, I made sure a photo happened of it, but it didn't necessarily happen on my phone. So
same.
Yeah.
I have some.
Okay, where? And that's in the Google Drive.
Yeah, I'm gonna make the folder right now.
Okay, because I probably have most of those.
It's where the pictures are.
I'm looking at you, Danny and Chris.
Yeah, I think.
And I also took all the sticky notes, and I've been going through those and finding out which ones were like conversations we wanted to have later that we didn't get to have.
Like you took them physically?
Yes, I took them physically.
Nice.
She's full our hearts.
I had to keep the values talking stack.
Good.
Yeah.
Sorry, in between before we move, I was just wanted to welcome Aaron, who joined the meeting, but I think he just lost his connection. Actually, oh no, he's still there. So hi, Aaron. We did an introduction of each other in the beginning. I don't know if we know you already or not, or if you're just listening in. I don't know if he's still there. Bad connection. Okay, Aaron, if you can hear us, all the things we're talking about, you can find them on github.com/giveth/communication. And if you have a question, don't hesitate. Okay, what else? Mission statement update on the wiki. So yeah, that's one that I was thinking of working on as well. But of course, any notes or help is welcome as well. So what I wanted to do for that one was like we had our the first goals meeting, and then Griff did another like goals prioritization meeting with like the maintenance and this and that towards the end of the week. And I wanted to like try to get a sort of mission statement of like what does Giveth really want to achieve out of this, because the current one is really not okay, because it just says we're a decentralized altruistic community, but it doesn't. If you go there and again thinking in the direction of funding, if you want to understand what Giveth is about, that page is not a mission statement. So that's one that is also on my list. Values article on Medium, plus then also wiki updates. So that one is also based on a meeting in Barcelona. So that's actually, well, we have, well, I linked to it in that Twitter thread as well. It's like at the end, we come to like the shared values that we have. And I want to like go through that entire video again and like talk about like the top values. Oh yeah, and maybe, oh yeah, so you, Griff, you shared, I'm gonna add it so that I don't forget, the plus sheet by Griff, because to like get what like the top values are, I'm gonna like just take what was on the board together with what Griff had in the sheet, because we did 2 different scorings in that meeting. And then like, I wanna like go through the video and like see what were some of the explanations people gave for these specific values and see if I can come up with a nice article, and then have people edit it, of course, and give their opinions so that it can go on wiki as well.
That's cool. Yeah, and that sheet, other people got to vote too, so the order changed.
Ooh,
Actually.
dramatically?
I wouldn't say dramatically, but it changed. Like the top 5 isn't the same.
Okay. You shared that one in the Unicorns channel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay, but I'll do that afterwards. Then, okay, well, I'm just going chronologically here. So setting up communication strategy for the Hispanic markets. That's yours, Gus. Tell us something about this,
Yes.
Mike.
Yeah, no, well, that was something that arrived to me just a couple of days after we left the retreat. And it's basically because in the last couple of years, I have made some collaboration with a local media blog here in Spain about the blog name is called Observatorio Blockchain. But also, there is one media blog. It's called Crypto Noticias, which is actually in the top 3 of media blogs in the whole Hispanic market. That came to me and to a group that I run here. It's called Ethereum Madrid to ask some questions, and then it was like, oh, maybe the guys want to talk about the commons in Spanish, something like that. No, so that idea came to me that I have possibilities with a couple of really influenced media web page in Spanish. So to let you know that there is that possibility there. And if you guys are willing to, let's say, start or kick off a communication strategy in Spanish, I will be really happy to participate that work stream or even to lead them, of course.
Do people have some thoughts on that? I have some, but I don't want to take the floor the entire time. So if someone else has thoughts as well.
I mean, I have thoughts. I think that we're this is kind of goes into a construction zone with the maintenance stuff. If there's any place to start a second language, it's definitely Spanish. That's definitely the thing. But it's like we're spread a little thin with our communications already. And I remember doing this with the DAO. It was very difficult to maintain 2 languages, much less we were trying to do 6 for a while, and then we just had to give up and just understand that like anyone in our audience really they speak English, and so it's just a scope issue. But I don't know. Those are my thoughts.
I have one thought too. Gustavo, you were at the Swarm Summit there in Madrid. I don't know if you remember seeing the presentation for the team that Mariona was on. Mariona's the woman who organizes for women in blockchain Barcelona. So she was on a
Yeah.
team and they used
Yeah,
Aragon
totally.
as an
Yeah.
example. And it was an online translation that presented things up in Spanish. So the thumbs to my mind is if there's somebody else working on a tool that would do that for us easily. I don't know what state that their hack was in, but it was good. It placed. And of course, you took first prize, but maybe check in with Mariona if that's something that you're personally really interested in, and see what evolved from that, or what could evolve from it.
Yeah, haven't noted, but yeah, that's definitely another something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
But that's more related to have like automated translations on the Giveth app, for example, because we're talking about there about two things: the presentation that Mariona did with her team, and also there was Sam from the peer-to-peer stacks
Yeah.
here in the Complutense. And yeah, they were setting up like an application for gathering translation from the community for the Aragon app. Done as well for the Giveth app. My proposal was going on another part. It was more related to blogs and media channels, not directly of the app
Okay.
being translated.
Yeah.
That
Gotcha.
And for that, it's I think I agree with what Griff said on that if if we want to really like attack the Spanish crypto market, we don't really have the bandwidth. But of
Mhm.
course, if you are in contact with them, and it's really specialized on blockchain, which is our audience, of course, it would be great if you talk to them about it. But it's probably not our priority at this moment because we don't have funds to really fund a lot of larger communication initiatives at this moment. But you
No,
know
that's
what? Then
that's
I'll
that's that's
just
totally clear. That's totally clear. Maybe when I was speaking about starting, yeah, when I was speaking about
did we
starting a
lose you?
communication
Oh, go
strategy
ahead.
in Spanish, to set like a whole communication plans. But maybe if we want to publish, for example, I don't know, translate the Commons article and give it to these guys in Crypto Noticias, make reference to that article and see what happens there. That's another option, no? Like atomic, like doing atomic actions and to see what happened. That could be another thing to think
Or you
about.
could just send it to them, and probably they read English as well, and maybe if they're interested, then maybe they will just like
Yeah,
do something with it in Spanish. We don't maybe we don't need to translate for them.
yeah. That they will, if there is a topic in their interests, I think they will go on with that.
Mm,
And maybe tell them, well, in case you have any questions,
yep.
put there. I don't know.
Yeah. So feel free to send them anything if you have good contacts, and if something comes out of it, like of course we're here and we'll be dishing you some points, dear sir, if something comes out of it, of course. So I for now I just moved it to like backlog until like we're like rich and funded again, but and we can scale to all localized markets. Um, what else? Organizer call. I put that one on there so that I wouldn't forget myself. So that was on the 26th. So that is next week. So I think you saw that one passing by as well, Griff. It was James Saki who is on that one. So Jeff still needs to just have a check in with him. I'll remind them of that one. Then DEFCON 5.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
So for that one, anyone, I put it in unicorns as well. But like, even if, yeah, I don't. I think we can say that we cannot guarantee that we can like have funding for everyone to fly to Japan. But I think it is a good thing to maybe register if you're interested to go, because then we at least have the builders tickets, which are cheaper, and that's
Yeah.
possible still until the July the 7th.
Yeah, and the scholarship tickets for sure too.
Yep, those are even cheaper, right?
Yeah, they're free. They'll pay for flights.
What? Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's for developers.
It's for anyone who it's on a case by case basis.
Okay, so like kind of more students and people getting in and stuff as well.
I mean, I think that we would be able to apply, and I bet we would get some. It says anyone can apply. We take into account socioeconomic, gender, ethnic, and geographical backgrounds that aren't proportionally represented at DEF CON, as well as applicants' motivation to use the DEF CON experience as a foundation to get more involved in the theater space and take what they're learning to the communities.
Gender, that's all the women.
Yeah,
Start with.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay, so Danny and Lorelai are already like flying and going for free. Yes, that's 2 in.
Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, we should definitely be all applying for scholarships.
Yeah, that's good to know. So I
Yeah,
went for
what's
the builder one.
what's the in for volunteering? I mean, last year we just like we knew someone who needed people on their volunteer team last minute, and there was like 5 spots, and that's how I got in. But is like, does anyone know? Like, do we know people personally? Because I don't think they're really accepting mass volunteer applications.
Yeah, it's probably going to be word of mouth. I mean, obviously, I know everyone very personally, and we know Hudson too. I mean, I could send Hudson a chat. I don't know if Hudson's doing it. I'll just ask Aya.
Okay, cool. And I'll just like reapply for the scholarship as well. And I'm checking like if I go to the builders thingy, if I can still find my what I filled in, because otherwise I'm just going to share it for inspiration with the people. No, damn, it's gone. It's a type form thing and it's gone.
Just curious, like how many people would want to volunteer? It's generally they make you do 2 like 8-hour shifts, or that's what it was last year. So like half of the DevCon days, you are actively volunteering.
And what did you have to do?
Well, I was working the door, like checking people in, but there's lots of different volunteering roles, but I think that's generally the amount of work they expect in exchange for a ticket. And if I knew how many people from our team were interested in that, we could communicate that to Aya or Hudson.
So for volunteering, we'd have to cover our own travel costs. But for scholarship, if we had qualified for the scholarship, there's a possibility that even travel would be covered.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, so
that's a major distinction.
We should hit all the buttons.
Yeah, it sounds like we should all apply for scholarship then.
Yeah. If the scholarship doesn't work, I for sure am also interested in being a volunteer, without a doubt. So we can indeed first maybe I'll try scholarship and builders, and then also do volunteering if none of the above works. Cool. We keep on getting Aaron back and losing him, so I don't know if he's here. Okay, Giveth house campaign.
Yeah, that's me. Hey. So yeah, I made a campaign on Giveth for the house, which I linked into this GitHub issue, and yeah, I just want you guys to like help help people know that they can donate to this campaign if they have used the space or if they want to use the space. And it's also a place to make proposals, right? If someone is staying there and notices like, oh, like I want to get a new coffee maker because this one fucking sucks and it leaks, and they could make a proposal for that on the campaign. And boy, in my life, I have had a lot of success with tips are welcome. You know, it's amazing. Just like remind people
Yeah.
you can be regenerative to this goes a long ways. So sorry, I have a morning voice. Yeah, so, and then along with that, there's this Giveth house booking spreadsheet for people to reserve. Like if anyone wants a bed or office space, I would hope that they would note it in the sheet. And those are both pinned really obviously on the Giveth House Telegram group. So it's pretty easy, but I just wanted to say it here so that you guys remember you can help remind people. And please do, like if you connect with people who want to use the house, like amazing. That is so great. And just remind me.
Yep. Regenerative.
Yeah, it's just really strange that like if you add new people to the group that they cannot see what is pinned, or maybe that guy just didn't see it. The person who was at it.
Yeah, on Twitter. Oh, sorry, Telegram.
Yeah,
Is that you can't see the pinned message if you join later.
Apparently.
yeah,
Well,
because
maybe I'll just
It must be a setting because sometimes I can.
yeah,
It must be a setting on the room.
You know, maybe then also a role here is like if you add someone to that room and you notice someone joins the room, just
Remind them.
resend that message.
Yep.
Resend the pin message as a welcome to them.
Yep, that's the thing, because I think when it's probably something in the admin settings of that group that like if people join that they can only see like the last 25 messages or something. I remember there's something like that, and so like if it was pinned earlier, they're not going to see it. So yeah, like you can indeed resend the message and like and then once in a while just repin it so that new people keep on seeing it. Okay. Then that article by Adam. So that I just put that one in for myself as well as a reminder. So Jeff had a quick session with Adam on just more depth content, and so I haven't checked it just yet, but it's on my to-do list for today actually to like read through it and see it's if I understood it correctly, is the idea of that was to create a sort of series about like what is currently possible with the app and where do we want to go. But I don't know if you were involved in that, Michael, or not.
No.
Okay. Well, I'll check it, and then I'll also if the thing that Jeff told me was that he said it was a little bit too short to really add a lot of value. So I'll first check it, and then I'll share it with you if it makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, that's be great.
Then UNICEF grant video.
Yeah, so Lorelai just I think stepped out to go to the bathroom, but the so is there another one we can skip
to? Yeah. Well, one in between is that Danny just said that that article actually came out from the interview with Griff. Yay.
Oh yeah, I put the link in the chat there.
Yeah, is that?
Yeah, you can retweet it. She took a lot of liberties, especially when it makes it sound like I'm being quoted. And she recorded the conversation, so there's a lot of inaccuracies there, but it's close enough.
You sure? Because like we can still ask them to edit if you're like.
It's not worth. It wasn't worth the time that I put into it. I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's any press, all press is good press kind of a thing. But like, yeah, I don't know. She seems really nice. It's just bit IRA just rubs me a little wrong, you know.
Okay.
Just even just the name of the company hurts.
Well, I don't know where it comes from. Like if it's.
But she was really nice.
With what?
Well, she must have been taken with you because she applied to come to Decentral.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely I liked her. She was fun, but like I think it's fine to retweet, but it's not like it's not something that I'm like, oh my god, this is something we need to like plant our flag on, or even spend any extra time on.
Well, yeah, then I'm not going to send the initial tweet, and I don't know if they tweeted it because it's published on 6th of June. I'm going to see if I can find back the tweet because they didn't tag us, or I would have seen it. What does our IRA in this sense stand for? Because it says placement of other digital currencies in an IRA.
It's like a investment fund that you can not pay taxes on, and you can put like $5,000 a year into or whatever. You know, it's very money based and like saving money on your taxes kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, they didn't tweet the article, I see. So if you only want me to retweet, well, then there's nothing to retweet, and then there's nothing to do. So then we can leave it at that. But I will read it. Okay. Then grant and then create an onboarding document for the DAP.
And Chris, if you read it and you're like, oh, this is great, then go for it. You know, like it's fine.
Okay, I'll check. Yeah, I don't know what you were struggling with, so I'll check if it's not something that is like then you know. Okay, Lorelai, we were just at the Unisys Burn video actually.
Okay, cool. So it's come to attention that this video is due, I think, at the end of July. And I really want this to have a fair shot, and I have the ability to go to Tijuana in about 3 weeks from now and just like help chase this and make it happen. And so I am talking with George and the other folks trying to figure out the other folks down there that need to be involved in this video. But yeah, it's like obviously a big ease on funding for us that grant. So I'm going to do the best I can to get a good submission in. And I don't know what help yet I need to ask for. I know that Kai and Michael are available for video editing help. And I'm unsure like what exactly we have on the ground in TJ. But yeah, I'm doing this. If anyone holds pieces to this that I don't know about, please tell me, and I will try and be the representative down there of making it all happen. If we do go forward with this, I have to kind of wait and see if it's possible from George.
Is Michael not, because you I saw you reaching out to them again like last week or something?
Well,
Michael.
that's why kind of Loie's kind of pushing this, is because we reach out. I mean, I reach out sometimes twice a week, and I've been asking for a meeting with Rafa and George and whoever else there. Just we've done our bit in the sense that we've created the script, and the plan was we were going to merge two scripts together and then film it. But we can't make them film it, like they just kind of have to want to do it. And so we're been kind of stuck there. So I've been asking George to kind of push it, and now it seems a bit got pushed back onto George to some extent to kind of make it happen. So we talked about it earlier this week, and we're going to talk again on Friday or Monday. But yeah, and so there's actually two parts to this. One is going there, I think having a presence from Giveth there will be fantastic to actually make it happen. But in addition, we need to make sure that the script part is ready to go. So when Loie gets there, we just finished that. So that's the second part of the nudging. And there's a third part, which I think is minor, which is just to fill out the form, which should take less than an hour.
The grant application form?
Yeah, it's basic information and basically just business information about Rafa's organization.
So it's not like long, like essay.
No, because
in the video.
Right, because the way it works is that this is round one, so we have to get through that round, and then then the second part will be spending a lot more time on writing. So most of it is the video.
So I'm curious, like, what the plan is for merging two scripts into one. If they indeed have their own script, like, who, like, is there someone who's like, yeah, I can help them merge these stories into one thing? Or, I mean, I can help with that too, but
yeah. I mean, while Griff and I were in the call, I think it was Rafa's proposal that we each write a script. Who actually does the merging? I don't know if we got to. I think the plan was really we just kind of get together as a group and look at the two scripts and discuss it and merge it.
And do we know if they have a script at all?
No, they never made a script, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so is someone
and did we
feel confident to help them make a script? Because maybe they need some babysitting on that as well.
I definitely think they need babysitting on the script writing. If I think if George is the lead on that, then we're gonna have to help him. Or I said to George the other day, you just use the script that we proposed. They don't have to write a script.
Edit the script we have, right?
Yeah.
Use it as a starter, and then just like, the thing is that they know Castro Limon a little bit better. They know they're like what they can contribute a little bit better and what they want to do and what they want to use this money for. So, to not have their input on it would be a little crazy because the money's going to them to work on Giveth, but it's going to them. So
yep. So yeah, I'd also if you want other eyes to look at the existing script, Michael, just share it. I don't mind. I always like editing. So if you want someone to look at it, just share it.
Okay, I'll share it.
Chris, would you also be interested in helping mentor them a little bit on it, or no?
Sure. It's like because that's the thing. Like you have probably a very tight length of the video that you can make and so on. So I don't mind, and I think you'll probably be the best person to do that because you'll be there. But I don't mind like dialing in as well whenever it's needed. But we'll just because I'm now thinking, for example, if because it's with Alibre and so on, I don't know, but if there's someone like Andre who says a lot of uhs and he goes a little bit slow, and you have to like coach that person a little bit to like, oh, this needs to be a little bit shorter, or like try to. So, and that's the thing that's probably easiest when you're on the ground over there. But
well, I imagine that they can make the video in Spanish, right?
Oh, right.
And then I'm guessing the is more of a because he's speaking in English. But
could be, but like
I'm not good in words, English or Spanish. But.
Can we do the video in Spanish? Doesn't it have to be in English?
It has to be sort of in English, but I think we could use subtitles for parts of it.
Okay. No, yeah. So for sure. Like, call on me whenever. I can start by checking the script as it exists, and like whatever help you need, like when you set up Lorelei over there. Of course, I'd love to help.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, and Rafa had dreams of like taking this video and like doing a lot of videoing with Castro Limon because the goal of this video is really to say how we're helping children. So they're going to go to Castro Limon, do a bunch of filming, do interviews there with them, and like make like a lot of content so that they could cut other videos out of it. So I don't know if that's still in the works, but it's definitely something to keep in mind.
Okay. So yeah, if you can add the link in the issue, Michael, then we have it there.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
And then so we have actually we're kind of out of time, but I see there's 4 more issues. So you have the remainder of the time, Michael, to talk about the extra issues.
Oh, you mean the new ones I just posted?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I just put I wasn't sure. I mean, if they should be, I think they better be here rather than in the DApp GitHub because I keep most focused on issues, bugs, and stuff. So, so yeah, I put in blog post because I know we've been talking about this forever. But the only caveat there is I think that blog post may be timed a little bit depending on where that first bit of funding comes from. So if it's like the common stack, we see there's momentum there, then we can release it then. It doesn't mean that we can't prepare it now though. Then the second one is on this DApp administrative guide. So as you know, like we've been having lots of problems with the DApp servers and who's got access to what. So I've started preparing a DApp administrative guide. That's also kind of part of this onboarding package for new devs. So that's just like, what servers do we have? Who's in charge of it? If it goes down, how do you get it back up and running? Just stuff like that.
Right.
The third one is a DApp diagram. That's basically done, but we can move it to complete, but it's just so everybody's aware. That is really for the devs, but I was thinking afterwards, it's actually maybe useful for everybody at Giveth to kind of see how the structure of our DApp works, because I think when I started putting it together, I realized not very many people really know.
Yeah, I think it's perfect to put on the wiki if it's not on there right now.
Yeah. And I have it so I can add it, the actual link to in that I can edit the issue. And then the last one, as I mentioned, it just came to me, that we have kind of a DApp, sort of an onboarding process for new people that join Giveth, but we really need an additional onboarding process for specific devs that join Giveth too. So, for example, I had a chat with Amin yesterday about all the issues around, what it takes, because he's really confused about, how this all works. So I think all of that needs to be just put in a document with the diagram of how the DApp works, with who's in charge of the servers, what channels you need to join in Riot if you're a DApp dev, all that kind of stuff, just in one place. So the onboarding process is really simple.
For sure, and that's great. And I think actually, Michael, because also you said the other one I have, and I'll add the link. That's just the stuff that you can just go to the wiki under DApp, and you can edit it and put it over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. that would be great, because that's where people. Yeah, it's an easy place to lead people to, right? And the DApp information there is a little bit outdated. So I think that these 3 issues, administrative guide, infrastructure diagram, and onboarding doc, will probably go there when they exist. So that's great. The DApp blog post. Yeah, so let's discuss what exactly could be in there. But let's move that one to the in between or to the next meeting, so that we don't go too much over time. And we also have Adam's article that I see that Griff also checked. So I'll read through that. Okay. So let's do a quick checkout. Someone is having a lot of background noise with zippers and stuff.
Gustavo.
Yeah, I think I thought it was Gustavo. Okay, so thanks for all the new issues, and if you think of other stuff that happened during the Barcelona bonding, I think there is still a lot. I will check myself more of the videos to see what were some of the action points and add them. But please go ahead as well if you think of some in between. And yeah, thanks for all the feedback and the work. And I give it to Lorelei because I see her on my screen.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Appreciated this chance to understand who's helping where. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow. There's no rules meeting. And this like monthly calendar invite got very offset by new scheduling, so I just took it off the calendar, and we'll make a new date that's accurate. But yeah, see you guys tomorrow for community meeting, and much love.
Pass it to me.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for the meeting, guys. I have to disengage a little bit from a lot of the Giveth organizing things, so I'm trying not to take too much because the Common Stack and I'm in Spokane with family and Burning Man and everything's like coming to a head for the summer. So, but obviously keep me in the loops if you think you need anything, and I'll try to keep coming to the meetings. But thanks for understanding. And I will pass it to Michael.
Great. Thanks. Another great meeting. Chris, well organized. And yeah, looking forward to the communications call tomorrow. Community call tomorrow. And I'll pass it to Danny.
Yeah, thanks. I did put a couple updates and a few issues that we didn't cover here. If anyone wants, Chris, I updated a couple things, so you should see that come through. I have a couple deadlines for myself to have outcomes and feedback from the retreat done here in the next few days. I will be present a little bit less next week. I too am spending a little bit of time with my family. And yeah, that's about all I got. Thanks for a great meeting. Passing it over to Gus.
Well, guys, great meeting. Thank you all. I will keep you posted about my conversation with these blogger people. Looking forward to meet you tomorrow, the communication call. And I don't know who haven't participated yet, so I don't know who I should be passing it to. And the last one?
We
There's
still,
Aaron.
yeah, we still have Aaron, but who is there and not there? Aaron, I don't know if you heard us. The mysterious Aaron.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aaron.
Well, we need to leave, guys. Love
Okay.
you all. Take care.
See you guys later.
See you,
Thanks for
Gustavo.
joining,
Bye.
all of you. Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Love you guys.
So wait, can I? How come this campaign is only accepting donations of ETH?
What do you mean?
It
When you
should be
hit
ETH and
donate,
DAI, right?
when you hit donate, what happens?
Only ETH.
No way. Well, but you're not on mainnet. When you go mainnet, it gives you the drop down.
Well, someone else in the Giveth House channel said, "Oh,
Yeah, I
you're
saw
donating
that.
DAI." Maybe he had to like. I didn't even recognize who that was. Do you know who it was?
Yeah, he's a guy who is coming to the house in a few days.